I'm Roubidoux, and this video is one that Erin Grey sent to me, and this is Sulphur's Chance, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Chance. I've always felt that Chance was too magnificent a horse to be forgotten, and Erin, she did a tribute to him in, I guess it was the American Sulphur Horse Association. I'm walking away from this. Yeah, she had ran the American Sulphur Horse Association, I believe. And anyway, she did a tribute to Chance in that, and told a little bit of her side of his story. This was, I thought, a real good video she took of him, and shows his stripes and all. He was a beautiful horse. I adopted him in March 1993 it was. March 1993 at the Spanish Fork adoption in Spanish Fork, Utah. And he wasn't my first choice. There was another younger stallion that I wanted that somebody else got, and I heard that stallion, it was a Gruya stallion, real good markings on him. I heard that when they took him home, he ran out of the trailer, crashed into the fence, and broke his neck, and died. So anyway, I actually didn't adopt him. Chance, a friend of mine did. Named Harper Johnson. He lived in Manaway there, and I asked him to come and to the adoption with me, and he said he would and help me to get a horse. And so I told Harper to, because his name was called, to go for Chance. And so a year later, then of course I took Chance home, and a year later Harper signed over the papers on Chance to me. And that may be a sneaky way about going about it, but at the time I wanted out my odds. And of course my first horses, I was fortunate to get them. I thought I got some real good ones, but after that things went down for me, and I didn't get very good horses. So anyway, but Chance was good. He was 5 years old, so the BLM said, when I adopted him, and he was just a gorgeous horse, and he was gentle. He was always gentle. He was a good horse. You can hear Erin here. She's working with Chance in the picture here. And he had, I ended up getting, that I know of positively, about 15 foals from him. They've been good foals. But anyway, I just really liked Chance. He was gentle with me. I was able to gentle him, and for me being a greenhorn at doing this, for him to gentle down as well as he did, he did real good. Erin took him. She wanted to use him for showing and all, and I thought, why not? Just go ahead and do it. And she took him and she trained him. She worked with him. He could be ridden, but he did buck. And but he was good, real good disposition, just like he shows now. He'll come right up to you. Erin showed him a lot in a lot of shows. He got a lot of attention. People liked him. Finally, I guess it was 2000, things were going bad for me with the horses, and I knew I couldn't do it. And so I decided, Erin wanted to buy him, and so I decided to sell him to Erin, and that's how she got him. She had Chance until, I think, I'm not for sure, just maybe a couple of years, but she decided to sell him to Robert Smith in Idaho, and which she did. And this I thought was interesting, because I mean, here I got this horse for $125 adoption fee. I sold him to Erin for $3,000, and I believe she told me that she sold him to Robert Smith for $7,000. Just amazes me what can happen with horses once they get a name for themselves. But Chance, he was a beautiful horse. Why he died, I have no idea. All I know is I don't think it was able, you know, she or anybody could take all of the wild out of Chance. Maybe it was his heart. I don't know. But he died at the year 2003. So when he died, they just found him dead, they say. Sometimes I wonder if it was just a loss of freedom. This guy was 5 years free horse and running wild and free on the Mountain Home Range, and that was taken away from him. And anyway, he passed on. But he was a good horse, a beautiful horse. I know Erin, you know, thought a lot of him too. But with him, you know, not being able to trust him because he would buck, made it hard. So anyway, if I had it to do, I've said this before, if I had it to do over again, I don't think I would have sold him. I would have just brought him back home to Utah and kept him. And I'd like to have kept Mistine also. But just things were going bad for me, so I didn't. But anyway, I've got good memories of him and got these pictures. I enjoy them. He's gorgeous. He was a magnificent horse, though. He had beautiful leg markings and all, wonderful disposition. But he was nervous. You can see here. He was nervous around people, you know. But he would calm down. I would like to have had gotten another Pueblo from he and Mistine. Don't know if it would have ever happened. But I liked Pueblo. He was a beautiful horse. And, you know, I think nowadays if I would have, I'd probably still have Pueblo. Or not Pueblo, but the one like him. You see Chance, how he's acting there? He just had that wild in him. You could never get it out of him, I don't think. And but he was sweet. I could take him and see how he's coming up to Erin here. I kind of taught him to do that. He'd do that with me at the corral. I'd just call him. But if he was out in the field, boy, it took a bit for him to come to you, but he would come. You know. He was just fun to watch him out in the field. I remember when I had him over at the fish hatchery, we had a lot of room there. He had Gad's a good 20 or more acres to run on, and with all my mares, and they'd start just galloping across that field and watching them together. Oh, I loved it. After a few years, though, the Wildlife Resources wouldn't let any of the people keep livestock at the hatcheries, and so we had to move our livestock off. Couldn't keep them there anymore. But I had a friend in Manamay that let me pasture on about 30 acres, and that's where I'd keep my horses. But it got expensive keeping them, and I just didn't have a good feeling about it. It wasn't good for my family situation. I bought the place in Montpelier, Idaho, and had big plans to move there and raise the horses and all. But then I sold that place sold the horses.
Come on.
And that bothered me quite a bit. And it was pretty hard to take.
Good boy.
I had a video of the Montpelier
boy.
place, and I ended up, it kind of bothered me so much. I was kind of shaken up over it, and kind of depressed about it. I ended
Good
up
boy.
getting rid of that video. Don't even have it anymore.
Good boy.
But he is such a beautiful horse. I love this video. I'm glad that Erin sent it to me. And Erin did a lot of good with Chance. She took him to a lot of shows and got the people to see what a real Spanish Sulphur stallion looked like. And he impressed a lot of people, I take it.
Prince, come on.
He was quite a show horse. He was so beautiful.
Come on, Prince. Good boy. Come on.
Oh, look at him. Oh, that's another thing he did when I adopted him, and I wasn't there to see it, but and they didn't video it. I had my camera to other people while I was getting my truck, but when they went to load the horses, Chance jumped, just totally jumped the one of the gates there, and they tell me that everybody was oohing and ahhing at him. And no other horse jumped, completely jumped over one of those tall gates that they, when they send them down the chutes. But he went right over it, but just into another part of that alleyway to load the horses, so it didn't get loose or anything. But oh, what a horse he was! Just beautiful.
Come on. Okay, Chris.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn this off now. So, Sulphur's Chance. I hope he'll always be remembered.
Chris, come on. Good boy. Okay, Chris, come on.
I can't stop watching him.
Stay.
If he would have been caught
Chris,
when he was
stay.
young and trained when he was younger, he would have been totally a different horse. But isn't that, he's just beautiful. Sulphur's Chance. What a horse. When I was doing the horses and breeding them all, I didn't, oh, that's the end. I didn't have to do anything special for them. I just left them alone in the fields and let them do what a horse naturally does. Never had any problems with my mares or anything like that. Breeding, having them, even with Gru, putting them together, and I just kept them together there at the hatchery in the fields, and they got along. Gru ended up cutting himself a little bit on something there at the hatchery, but you know, I never had any trouble with my horses. Never had any trouble with them breeding. They just did their own thing. Had plenty of foals from all of them. I had all but Tia. Tia didn't do well. Only got one foal out of her. Actually, she did have a first foal that she had when I got her. She was in foal, and but that foal did die. I don't know what who the stallion was or whatever. But Erin ended up buying Tia also, and but when I had them, I had no problems with them. They took care of themselves. No foaling problems or anything. They were pretty easy to care for. good horses. So anyway, I'll turn this off now.